Hello, chapter 3 of TMS, transformational journey, breast cancer, and anything in between that I might want to throw in. So in chapter 2, I talked about how I learned about TMS, Dr. Sarno, Dan Buglio, the mind-body connection, perceived danger pain, and I talked about how my TMS symptoms started in March 2022 and sort of this journey that I went on, and then obviously the breast cancer came in Feb 2023. But I also said that in early 2022 I started a vision therapy program and that this was important. So I'll explain a little bit more, but I have to go right back, and if I won't explain this properly or medically, so if an ophthalmologist ever comes across this video, hopefully they'll correct me. But the eyes, that we know are an extension of the brain, in the first 18 months of life development, our eyes develop so that when they both take in an image, that image comes together into what we call binocular vision. That didn't happen for me, and there are different sort of schools of thought, but that didn't happen for me. And what happened for me is one eye sort of became the dominant eye, the other eye is see-through and would be used for peripheral vision, but the brain would sort of suppress it, so I didn't have binocular vision. And the way that this manifested, or the way that this was noticed, was my nan noticed this because she said to my mum, her eye is turning. And lo and behold, that's what happens. And I believe that's called strabismus. My eye turned inward. And because of that, and it was this eye, and because of that, the vision in this eye deteriorated. So I wear a contact lens in this eye, or I wear glasses. The prescription in this eye is, I'm not far off perfect vision, but this eye, it's quite a strong, long-sighted prescription with a astigmatism. Now, the treatment in the 70s, and I believe it's still the same now, is to patch the good eye to try and get the what they call lazy eye. And I hate that term. I think it's really derogatory because it's not lazy by any stretch. But what they're hoping is that will work and strengthen. It didn't work for me. And then it's surgery. They cut the muscles to realign the eyes. But to me, that you're just treating the symptom. You're not treating the cause, because the cause is the brain. And so I had these operations. I had this surgery, and I think four. I think my first one I was 3 years old, then I was 9, 18, and I had another one when I was 2018 or 19, I forget. And something that I didn't learn until sort of 2021, 22 is that, I didn't even know that I didn't have binocular vision. That's mad, isn't it? Nobody had explained that to me. But when you have strabismus and you don't have binocular vision, that affects everything. It affects how one perceives things coming towards you, how you judge distance, height, reading, writing, your gait, how you hold yourself, and I can never say the word proprioception, but where you believe you are in the world, where your body is in space. It affects, it's a bit windy, I am sorry, I'm walking quite an open space. It can make you very tired. It can affect your motor skills, or do your motor skills come first and that's what caused the strabismus? Who knows? But it affects everything. And it explained to me, when I learned about this, I learned about why some things in life had seemed so much harder for me than they did for other people, like learning to drive, judging the distance of a car in front of me, judging the width of a car when I was parking. And oh my God, it was not for want of trying. Coordination, how I couldn't catch balls at sports day, how I was never fit for sport. So of course you can imagine what life is like when you've got an eye that turns, the teasing at school, and it wasn't a particularly great experience in the 70s. But I don't know what set me off on this path, but But I kept thinking, I don't quite believe that. I'd learned a lot about the brain and the way the brain works and neuroplasticity. And I kept thinking, well, surely we must be able to somehow retrain the eyes to if this happens, this learning of binocular vision happens in the first 18 months of life, then surely I can learn that in later life. It might take a lot longer. So I went on a huge voyage of discovery. Oh my God, I was driving my husband mad. He thought I was online shopping. I was on the phone all the time. But I was searching and Googling, and I didn't even know the words. I didn't even know what I was looking for. And I came across a lady in America, and she'd written a book called Fixing My Gaze. And that set me off on this path to find a vision therapist in the UK. And this is when sometimes I think the universe delivers for you, because it has a better plan for you and it knows what you need. Because I'm telling you, I kept Googling and Googling, and I found somewhere, and it was in another city, so it would have, because I thought, oh God, I can't go to America, and I don't want to be travelling to London all the time. But this one was in another city, quite a way away, and I rang them and they rang me back and they said, oh, we're so sorry, we're full, but we can recommend somebody and they might have space. And this place was 2 miles from my home, 2 miles. So I embarked on vision therapy, and what I'm doing is I am retraining my brain to do what should have happened in the first 18 months of life. How cool is that? It's amazing, isn't it? And it's a program, and there's so many different exercises, and it's quite humbling, some of it. And I've had tears and tantrums and difficult moments and moments of elation. It's bloody hard, because the challenge I also have is I'm in my 50s, so I've spent a long time with my brain accommodating this defect and working around it, and that's amazing as well that my brain can do that. But also overcoming 4 lots of surgery where the muscles have been cut. So can you imagine those tiny muscles in your eye, what mine are trying to achieve, and they've been sliced and diced. And so I'm on this amazing journey, but my therapist, who is a wonderful man, kept saying to me, you need to take this very slowly. You're putting a lot of pressure on your central nervous system. And I didn't. I put so much pressure on myself because I wanted this so badly. I still want this so badly. But I've learned now, I do like 10, 15 minutes a day. But I was obsessing. It was what I talked about, and enthused about, and I think I applied so much pressure to myself on top of coming out of lockdown. Because I think no matter what your experience, I think the whole pandemic was stressful for everybody in very different ways and different levels of severity. And then these TMS symptoms started to manifest. And it started with, as I said, Achilles tendonitis, that then very quickly became pains in the hands and the arms, which I was told was carpal tunnel. That's rubbish. Then my back locked, and I could barely sit or stand. Then I woke up one day and my neck was all twisted to the side, and there was pain in my face. And this went on for months, and it all seemed to happen massively quickly. I was shocked to the core. And so I then started thinking, well, what am I doing with my brain to retrain for the eyes? Surely I can apply some of that to, and also me believing in, where your attention goes, energy flows. So I'll cover that in chapter 4.